I know all of you that are veterans or married to veterans, what have you, have heard more times than you would like to hear it, that old pragmatic saying in the military of hurry up and wait. How many of us have been in line and thought about that if we weren't saying it? And for entirely too many veterans, waiting a response from the Department of Veterans Affairs, the only words that they're hearing is just wait. And considering the risks that they took in the defense of our freedoms, our veterans deserve better. And so here in Texas, we're doing something about it. One of the key contributors to those unacceptable delays in our service for our veterans is a backlog of the claims applications made to the VA. And the VA must make a decision on these claims before veterans can receive their benefits. Like medical care at the VA hospital, disability compensation. Even before you can appeal a decision that's been made by the VA, they got to make the decision beforehand. And it's a national issue. This isn't something that is just happening in the state of Texas, but it seems like Texas veterans are particularly hard hit. As a matter of fact, I think we're some of the hardest hit. We got over 39,000 applications pending in our state's 2 regional VA offices in Waco and Houston. And I'm disturbed by the fact that 38% of all of those claims have been pending for more than 4 months. To veterans and their families, that can mean nearly a half a year of untreated pain, unpaid bills, unresolved anxiety that they don't deserve. Our veterans have fought bravely in faraway lands. They shouldn't have to come home and do battle with the bureaucracy. And I understand this is a federal problem, but Texans can no more sit idly by while this goes on than anything, and kind of hoping that it gets better. We've got to be active, and that's the reason I asked the Texas Veterans Commission to help our veterans cut through the red tape, reduce the burden on the VA. We don't mind helping our partners at the federal level, and what I've asked them to do is create a claims processing assistance team funded out of the governor's office, and through this team effort, if you will, TVC counselors will streamline and hopefully accelerate the claims process by identifying applicants that are, or I should say applications that are complete and ready for expedited review by the VA. And if there's some missing evidence, obviously they can find that quickly and assist in the process. By making sure that the claims are properly prepared, applications are complete, this team will not only reduce the likelihood of any more of our Texas veterans enduring a lengthy appeals process, it'll also minimize the need for protracted hearing. This team will cut down on the red tape and we'll also be able to identify those claims that are really pretty simple, pretty straightforward, get them in the queue and get them processed and expedited, if you will. By presenting claims that are accurate and complete, this team will make VA's job a lot easier, and it'll cut down on the time that's needed to process these claims. And this isn't just all new ground. The Texas Veterans Commission has already helped reduce delays associated with VA paperwork. As a matter of fact, we had a pilot program last year that coordinated with the VA and the Texas Veterans Commission, and they cut the waiting time by 120 days last year in the pilot program. So we know this works. And as a matter of fact, the VA recognized their efforts with TVC as best practices, and they're starting to implement those across the country in other regional offices. And while they work, all the Texas Veterans Commission employees will remain under state control, and their team will have, and I should say, require minimal VA involvement. We're counting on the VA to be good partners with us on this, and we suspect they will be. I'm pleased to announce so far here in Texas that these efforts have been helping our veterans in the state. And the VA has provided us workspace and necessary resources both in Waco and Houston. They've been designating appropriate staff members for us to work with to ensure that the process moves ahead and not just merely adding more to the backlog. So, and I might add, the VA is also providing additional training to our team members to make sure all of us are on the same page when it comes to the requirements and the procedures and what have you. So it's obviously very important to have those regional offices of the VA supporting us, but the VA office, the central office in Washington, D.C. Must also address the issue by providing the additional resources to the state of Texas. I call on them to match what we've done here in the state of Texas and providing a grant of nearly $400,000, which will allow the Texas Veterans Commission to hire and administer up to 12 new full-time employees. We're committed to this initiative. It'll help Texas and it'll help the United States fulfill our moral duty to these veterans, and it's the least we can do for them. People who risk their lives for us so that we live in the freedoms that we enjoy today. And with that said, let me introduce to you the Brigadier General here who's with us today. Karen Rankin is the chair of the Texas Veterans Commission. General?
Thank you, sir. I just want to say that this is a real opportunity, and I want to thank the governor on behalf of the veterans and on behalf of our employees. For 80 years, the Veterans Commission in Texas has been the advocate of the veteran, and we are delighted to be able to put into action once again these claims processing teams. We know how to do this. We're going to put 6 of these excellent counselors that we have down in Houston and 6 in Waco, and we figure that each counselor can go through about 850, maybe up to 1,000 claims a year, and you multiply that by 12, and that's a lot of claims we think we can go through in a year to wheedle down that backlog of 39,000 claims. So this is a good thing, and we want to do this for the veterans, and if it weren't for the governor's generosity, we could not do this. So we're delighted to be a part of this and to take this action for the veterans.
Great.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, General. Thank you for your service, your continued service, I might add, and your leadership on this issue. I want to offer the podium to my friend and my colleague down in Austin, Texas, from time to time when he's not up here doing good veterinary medicine work, and that's Doc Anderson.
Thank you, Governor. I sure appreciate that. And General, appreciate you coming there, and all our veterans. Appreciate you all coming out today. And let me say the Governor, Governor Perry is a veteran, so he's very sensitive to these issues. And when you look at this situation, like in our regional area here, it's 18,000 backlog where these claims, and that's super important for the veterans and their families. And we can talk about the economy because it helps the economy. That money goes back in the economy. But the main thing is to do the right thing for these veterans. And Texas has always had that attitude. The governor has a can-do attitude and was willing to use this unique opportunity to try and help our veterans. And I'm real pleased. I'm proud that we can do that. And Governor, I sure, again, welcome you to the VFW here in Hewitt.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Doc, thank you for bringing up the point about the economy. It's really important, when you keep that money that rightfully belongs to those veterans sitting on a shelf somewhere or wherever they keep that money in Washington, D.C., at the printing press or wherever. But getting that money back out into our economy is important. So I want to join with Doc as well and say thank you for the hospitality of 6008 and for the work that you all do to support our veterans.